Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Now I'd like to talk about watches. More specifically about the Seiko SKX007. This is a dive watch. It's an automatic watch, which means that it's a mechanical watch, and it's driven by a spring which is charged by your movements. As you wear your watch and you move, the watch gets charged. And if you don't know mechanical watches or automatic watches, well, you should get to know them, because I find automatic watches awesome. My very first watch was a Casio Edifice, this one here. This is just a ordinary quartz watch, and it's very nice. It was, I think, 50 euros. 4 years ago or something like that. It's a very nice, beautiful watch with you see, at that time, for this price, you got watches with solid end links and solid how is it called, parts of in the strap or bracelet. So yeah, it's a very nice watch. And then I got a smartwatch, the Asus, how is it called, Asus ZenWatch 3 or something. And I was into smartwatches for a short while, because you know, getting notifications on your wrist is really or can be really useful, but somehow I lost interest in smartwatches. Because you know, the idea of always being connected to your phone and charging it every day, it's not good, and it's pretty impractical, because you really have to charge I think an ordinary smartwatch has to be charged every day or every night, and I don't know, I just didn't want to stick with it. Then I bought this one here. This is the Casio G-Shock GWM 510 or something like that. Let me check it out. GWM 5610. It's a solar powered radio G-Shock, so it can get the exact time through radio, and it's solar powered. And I got this bull bar here, which makes it even more durable, even more and good looking. So this is a real beater watch. This is my beater watch. The Seiko SKX is a very popular watch, and it's also a beater watch for many, but I just like it too much. So if I do something really nasty and dirty outside, I have to do some work that would make my watch really dirty or something like that, I just wear the Casio G-Shock. The SKX, this one, also takes a lot of beating. So this is a very famous, I think this is the most famous dive watch from Seiko. And you know, the idea is just so great that you have a mechanical watch which doesn't require electricity. You never have to plug it into the charger. You never have to replace battery. And these Seikos, like the SKX, they last, according to other people's experience, 10 or 15 years long without having to be serviced. And servicing just means that a watchmaker has to open it up and you know, just do some servicing, some oiling or something, whatever the watch needs. But these Seiko movements are just famous for their durability, for their robustness, and they run 10-15 years without servicing. Of course, if you have a mechanical watch, okay, let me clear something up. If you just have a mechanical watch and not an automatic, then it means that you have to with the crown you have to charge up, you know, by turning the crown you have to spin the spring and charge it up like that. But if you have an automatic watch, the spring is charged when you move your hand. It's a very, very clever engineering, a very clever solution, and I like it a lot that your watch charges when you move. It's just so cool. It's way, this idea is way more sporty than anything else, than any sport watch. So what did I want to say? Yeah, so you know, it's just so nice that I don't have to charge it every night. And of course, because it's a mechanical watch, it has a mechanical movement which is automatic, but it's a mechanical movement. Of course, it's not as accurate as a quartz watch. I mean, there are accurate mechanical watches like the Rolex or similar watches that cost several thousand or 10,000 euros, but this watch here, the Seiko SKX007, costed me 330 euros on Amazon. And if you're in the US, for example, you are much more lucky, because you can get this watch for much cheaper, like under $200. But I live in Europe, and it's a very different world than the USA. Okay, what did I want to say? Yeah, you know, when I wanted to get a new watch, I really wanted to have an analog watch. First, I wanted to have something solar powered, and I had a look at Citizen's Eco Drive watches, and also Seiko has some solar powered watches, and also Casio Edifice has solar powered watches. And somehow I just got very interested in dive watches, and this is a real dive watch. It is certified, and you can dive with it down to 200 meters. And of course I don't do diving, I only do desk diving. But you know, if a watch is certified as a diver's watch, it means that it's you know, it's reliable, it's durable, it works really well, and it can take some beating. So the other very practical thing about dive watches is this bezel, the rotating bezel, which actually acts as a chronometer, as a stopwatch. That's what I wanted to say, stopwatch. So if for example, if I want to measure time that elapses from now, from this moment, or from this minute, I just put this marker here where the minutes hand is, and it's like a 60 minutes stopwatch. I can always see how many minutes elapsed since I, so to say, started the stopwatch. And I find it very, very practical, because you know, in real life I have never needed a stopwatch which tells me the elapsed time down to the seconds. Most of the time you just need to know how many minutes has elapsed or something like that. And actually this also can be used as a countdown timer. So if I want to measure, for example, 10 minutes, I want to do something in 10 minutes from now, or let's say 5 minutes, I just do it like that, you see? And when the minutes hand is here and the marker, I know that 5 minutes has elapsed, I have to do the stuff I planned. So it can be used as a countdown timer or a stopwatch. It's just so cool, and it also looks cool. It is very practical. And what else? Yeah, the other thing, you know, if you have a real stopwatch with the small complications for the elapsed minutes, hours, and seconds, or maybe fifth of seconds, then it means that the watch face is also more cluttered. because there are those complications. But with a die watch, there are die watches that also have complications for minutes, elapsed minutes, hours, and so on, because they are also a stopwatch or chronometer. But this is a real classical die watch, and having this bezel to act as a chronometer or countdown timer makes the watch face much cleaner, much less busy. So the other thing I really like about divers is that the visibility, readability, legibility is just so great. Before I bought this watch, I ordered a Casio Edifice Premium solar watch, which had a sapphire crystal, a carbon carbon fiber themed watch face, and it looked just so awesome, but legibility was very, very bad. In many lighting conditions it was very hard to see. The hour markers were just impossible to see, and for me in a watch, visibility is one of the most important things. Because why do I have a watch? Because I want to know the time under any and every circumstances, and this is where die watches are also very practical, because as you see, the hour markers are very pronounced, also the minute markers and the hands, and the hour markers and the hands, they also glow in the dark, so they are fluorescent. And Seiko is also very famous for its fluorescent markers and for this material that glows in the dark. And it's really awesome. This watch, I can read the time on this watch during the whole night in complete darkness, because this luminescent, this Lumibright, it's called Lumibright, this Lumibright material that's on the hour markers and on the hands just glows enough throughout the whole night. So in complete darkness you can read the time, and you don't have to press a backlight button or whatever. You just look at it and read it, and it's just so awesome. It's so practical. It's much more practical than this one, because if you want to read this one in darkness, you have to press the backlight button, and it lights up for 1.5 seconds, and it's just too short. But on this one you can see the time under any circumstances. And the day and date and day complication is very nice. The day complication is not useful for me, because I always know what's the day, which date is. What I tend to forget is the date. So having the date is very useful, but having the day is, it's nice, it looks nice. I also like that the weekdays are written in black. The Saturday is in green. Is it green? No, blue. And Sunday is in red. So it adds to the beauty and the design of the watch. And you only have to set it once. I mean the day, because it always cycles through. At the end of the month, if it's not a 31-day month, you have to adjust the month. I mean the date. You have to adjust the date, and okay, let's talk about the accuracy of this watch. It varies a little bit. It's a little bit variable. I have observed that I don't wear this watch when I sleep. In the night, I just put it on the desk, and it always gains, but it gains less if it just sits on the desk, and it gains more if it's on my hand and I'm wearing it. In average, I think it gains about 6 seconds a day, but it can be a little bit more or less. But this means that I only have to adjust time once every week or once every 2 weeks. It depends on how it runs. Usually what I do is that I set it to run. I set it to be a little bit slow. I mean behind. For example, 1 minute behind the real time. This is my reference, of course. The atomic clock, because it synchronizes with the atomic clock. Okay, so, and then if it already runs more than 1 minute faster than the real time, then I just adjust the time again, which means I only have to adjust the time once every week or every 2 weeks. And you know, it's just so great, because when do we have to know the exact time down to the exact second? No, almost never. In everyday life, you just have to know which hour it is and about which minute. So, but you know, accuracy is really not a problem. Okay, what else? Yeah, of course, it's very much. Of course, it's waterproof because it's a dive watch, and that's also a big plus. You know that I don't have to baby it, even though it's a mechanical watch, which means that there are very, very tiny, small mechanical parts inside which move and keep the watch ticking. But I don't have to baby it because it's got a shock resistant structure or design, and it's also resistant to magnetization, of course, to a certain grade. So this is really a very, very good watch from Seiko. I think the thickness is also, I don't have any problem with the thickness. Just compare with a quartz. It's not much thicker. Okay. Actually, it could be a little bigger. When I did my research about this watch, everybody or a lot of people just write on Reddit or say in YouTube videos how big this watch is, and it's also got a smaller version, the SKX013, but I find this watch a little bit smaller than I like. Look at this. This one is a little bit bigger, but with a NATO strap like this, it looks a little bit bigger than it is. So yeah, and also I got this watch with the Jubilee stainless steel bracelet, which I like a lot. It is just very, very nice. I like this bracelet. You know what? I just bring it here. Because the Jubilee bracelet is very, 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 very nice. I like it a lot. Yeah, this is the bracelet it came with. Signed buckle. You know, it's just very, very nice. Oh, I don't want to take it apart now. This bracelet receives a lot of critique on the internet, but I like it. Of course, it's Jubilee. It moves around, but I like it. But actually, what I even more like is NATO's. And this is a Haveston NATO strap. And just a few words about NATO's. If we are here, a traditional NATO is like this. It has two parts. This is a Dakota Zulu diver, and you put your watch here, which sits in this pocket, and then you put it on your wrist. But I don't, you know, it's cool. It's something I used to, or what should I say? It's something I still wear occasionally, but I like much more the new NATO, or how should I say, the single pass NATO design, which this Haveston strap, it's a rocket inspired. I mean, the color design is rocket inspired. It's just so cool. I like this a lot. I think this is the most, or at least for me, this is the most beautiful strap I've ever seen. The only disadvantage of this is it frays like from the first moment you put it on, but whatever, it's beautiful. It's a very, very high quality thick material, of course, except this middle part here, but okay. So the single pass is, as you see, it's just one piece, and it's got a very nice buckle. This one is adjustable. It's very nice. Okay, you know what? I haven't showed you the back of the Seiko. This is the famous tsunami wave, and it's just so beautiful. I like it. I also like that the crown is here at the 3 o'clock position. So this SKX has got a very, very unique and distinctive design. It's just so beautiful. You know, it's a real tool watch, which can be a beater watch. So it's very, very hard to destroy this watch. Like a G-Shock, this is also very hard to destroy. Obviously more harder than this, but you know, the SKX is very, very, it has a very, very good, fantastic reputation, and not without reason. The SKX was introduced, I think, 20 or 30 years ago, or something like that, and it has never been, as far as I know, it has never been updated, so it just stayed the same. And based on the serial number, my watch was manufactured in December of 2018, which means that these watches are still manufactured unchanged. I mean, the movement is unchanged, which is for some people, or maybe many people, I don't know, a weakness of the watch. But because newer movements, or more modern movements, you know, can do tricks like if you pull and this is a screw down crown, so it has to be screwed in, and then it's more waterproof, and if you want to set the time, you have to screw it out first. Okay, so on more modern movements, mechanical movements, if you screw it out and you pull it out once, then, or twice, I don't know, then the second hand can stop, and you can also manual wind some more modern movements. It doesn't have any of that. The watch, or the movement itself, moves until it runs out of power reserve. This is the only time it stops. Okay, it can be also backhacked, which means that you with the crown you can turn it backwards, and then the second hand can be stopped for momentarily, but you know, it's just a trick. But actually I don't miss these features. I don't miss hacking, I don't miss manual winding. I wear this watch every day, so it's always charged up, and in the morning when I put it on again, it still ticks. So no problems with the watch. There are some other watches I really seriously considered. The Orient Ray 2, especially the black one, is a wonderful, beautiful watch. It costs 200 euros on Amazon in Europe, and It's also a dive watch, although not certified, but it's a dive watch. Just check it out in the internet. Just search for it, Orient Ray 2. Orient belongs to Seiko. It's also a great Japanese brand like Seiko. And it's beautiful, and it has a more modern movement which hacks and hand winds. So I almost bought that one, but you know, the SKX has such a legendary reputation. And just think about it, this watch was first released I think 20 or 30 years ago. I don't know it exactly now, but even 20 years is long enough, and it's practically unchanged, and people still buy it today, and it's still manufactured. So just think about it. It's a statement about the durability and about the quality and about the, how should I say it, it's just a statement about this watch that after decades unchanged, it's still manufactured, and it is still bought by many people. It is a statement for itself. So this Seiko SKX is just a legend, and I'm so happy to own it. I like it a lot, very much. Okay, I put it on my hand, so just I have to show it how it looks. Okay. Oops. See? This strap is just also so beautiful. This fraying is really disappointing, but apart from that, it's a beautiful strap. And because this keeper here is adjustable, this Haveston strap, although it's a technically a NATO strap, it wears like a normal two-part strap. Because what I don't like about NATOs, that, you know, you have to, they are very long, and then you have to, it's hard to show. Okay. So they are very long, and then you have to fold them back like that. But what I like about Haveston, that it's really not too long. It's just very nice. Okay. So I think I just put the SKX back on the desk and call it a day. One more thing. The other watch I almost bought was the Seiko Turtle. The Turtle is the reissue. The new Turtle is the reissue of the old famous Turtle, and it's also a very reputable and famous watch from Seiko. It's also got a more modern movement with hacking and hand winding. The design is similar. I mean, the watch face is similar, but it's also different, and I also like it a lot. I think one day I would like to get the Turtle and also an Orient Ray too, because those are just so beautiful. I like dive watches a lot. Yeah, beautiful watch. Very useful. Very reliable. You don't have to be afraid that, you know, it gets damaged. Of course, you shouldn't do anything stupid deliberately with it, but you can rely on this one. It's very nice. The accuracy is a luck of the draw, so some other SKXs are more accurate or less accurate. I'm happy with the accuracy this watch has. Also, some or maybe many Seikos, I don't know, have alignment issues on the watch face. This one, it has a little bit of an alignment issue here. You see the 6 hour mark doesn't exactly line up with the chapter ring, with the marking on the chapter ring, but I don't care. It's not a big deal for me. I only notice it if I specifically look for it, so I don't care. For me, this watch is the best watch. It's like almost perfect. It's really for me, it's the most beautiful. It's very, not very, it's the most practical for me. You know, everything is just subjective what I say here, because this is my favorite watch of all time. I hope that Seiko keeps making the SKXs for a long time. Maybe they will update the movement, but I hope that they will produce it and in the future too, and they will never change the design, because they can upgrade the movement. I think everybody would be happy for that. But the design and everything else is just fantastic. Okay, I hope you like the video. If you consider, if you find yourself considering the SKX or some other watch and you have to decide, just get the SKX. Sometimes it's rumored that it will be discontinued, so nobody knows. We can never know. So as long as it's produced, just buy it, get it. You cannot regret, I think. And if you want to get into mechanical watches or automatic watches, and if you have always had quartz watches, this is a good starting point. The Orient Ray 2 is an even better starting point, in the sense that you get a better movement. But for me, this watch as a whole is the best, better than the Orient Ray or anything else on planet Earth. So, but just, automatic watches, if you get a good brand like Seiko, Citizen, or what else, Orient, they are very good, reliable. They have good, reliable movements. As I said, Seiko needs very it doesn't need servicing in a very long period of time. So yeah, great. I could keep saying how great and fantastic and beautiful and nice this watch is. I could keep saying it for hours on until tomorrow, but you can just imagine that it's just being told and said how beautiful, how great the SKX is, without me keep telling it, because I have other stuff to do. Yeah, it's a very funny finish way of finishing the video, but whatever. It's a great watch. Buy it, get it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.